What is up, bros? Time for some bro talk. I've been putting this one off for a little while, a little bit longer than I should have, but I want to talk about the 5 things that I learned after 1 year of going sober. Now, I went sober for multiple reasons. Number 1, my health. Number 2, I thought I was developing a real problem, and I feel like if you can acknowledge that there may be a problem, there's probably a problem. Fair enough to say. So I ended up cutting back in June of 2022, but I didn't officially go to 0 alcohol until January 1st, 2023. And then January 1st, 2024 was my first full year. So it's currently like the end of February 27th, I believe, right now. And yeah, so I want to talk about some of the things you may hear, some of the things people may talk about, and I just want to give you my insight. So number 1, you don't really lose as many friends as people like to say. I know there's a strange stigma around, oh, well, I go out to dinner and go out drinking with my friends, they're not going to be my friends anymore. If that happens, you probably didn't need those friends in the first place. They may not have been the most positive figures. In fact, for me, I think me and my friends, we might have got closer. Some of us anyways, because we realized that we had different hobbies and different, interests that maybe we didn't realize, because it was like the easiest option to do when we hung out was, oh, let's go out and drink, or let's hang out at somebody's house and just have a couple beers, have a couple shots, play video games. But it's like now it's like I've gotten closer with other friends that maybe didn't drink much prior, and like I didn't have the time because I would go out and get hammered. But now I get to hang out with them, and it's a little different. So I don't think you lose friends, but you definitely see the dynamics change in your friendships. So don't lose friends. Some might go, but new ones may show up. So don't fear that. Number 2, you're gonna find out you're probably a lot better at things than you thought you were. Now, everybody talks about having, like beer confidence or drunk confidence, where it's really easy to be like, oh, I can get up there and sing because I'm confident. In your head, it might sound really, really good. To the people, it might sound really, really bad. But when you need to fill your time with more hobbies because you're not out getting plastered on a Tuesday night or a Friday night or a Wednesday night like I was, you start to find out you're actually pretty good at things, and you have a lot more interests aside from getting drunk and maybe playing beer pong. I mean, I'm still good at that, sober or not. Sober, I'm actually probably better because I'm a little more laser focused. But I didn't get into running really until after I stopped drinking. I didn't really get into triathlon until after I got done drinking. I didn't really get into reading. I did a little bit more painting after I stopped. And I haven't really picked up my music as much, but I still dabble around with that. And these are all things that, like, I may have done a little bit when I drank, but I think I do a lot better now that my thoughts are a little clearer, especially the creative stuff, because the creative stuff, I feel like you can get good ideas and good inspiration from, maybe an open mind of intoxication. But at the same time, I feel like you can also get a really good understanding of your emotions better when you're clear-minded. So definitely that. I feel I would have never been doing this, trying to make videos, trying to be creative in this avenue, if I would have stayed drinking. So there's that. You might find out you're a lot better at things than you thought you were. Number 3, health benefits. There's a lot. I know you'll hear all the common ones, like you'll sleep better, your blood pressure is better, you'll lose a significant amount of weight. I used to be like 315 pounds when I was a heavy drinker, and now I'm like 190. So weight loss will happen, but granted, that is compounded with a lot of other good decisions. But I will say my sleep improved dramatically. My cognitive ability to focus and stay on task and stay on target with things has definitely improved dramatically over the years. I just feel like my overall ability to talk and be coherent, I think, just might be better. So I think there's a lot of cognitive benefits that come along with taking alcohol out of the system. Gotta cross a dirt road. I'll take a little walk. And yeah, I mean, my energy levels are a lot better. Yes, I'm drinking coffee right now. That's not what I'm referring to, but yeah, So there's tons of health benefits. The sleep, I feel like, is a really huge one that a lot of people maybe don't think about at first, because you think like, oh man, if I had a glass of whiskey or something like that, soothe me right to bed. But that sleep is never as good as it should be. You know what I'm saying? So the blood pressure, that was one of the things that caused me to really consider pulling back. So before I'd started my recent job, this was back in 2021, I was at the urgent care getting a physical done to start my new job, and my blood pressure was through the roof. And I remember getting asked the question from the nurse, is 315 pounds or 310 pounds normal for you? And I said yes. And like, I think part of me really thought, I was like, this isn't good. And I was getting ready to leave there to go work my job at a liquor store that I worked part-time. And I realized it's like, I had a lot going on. And I feel like the less toxic habits and traits that I had within my life at that time would have definitely made improvements. And honestly, I mean, there's probably a good chance I'd be in a lot worse of health, a lot worse of shape. I've seen guys my age that were going through stuff with high blood pressure. They're already on blood pressure medication. A couple of them I know have been in and out of the hospital, and I'm like, dude, we're 28 years old. Like, this isn't the way to live. I know guys my age with DUIs already. You know, there's one guy I know, he's actually in prison. I used to work with him. He hit and ran some people. So health benefits, life benefits right there. I mean, those are an added bonus. I wasn't even going to consider those ones at first. But yeah, so we got health benefits. You're better at things. You don't lose as many friends. Number four has to be, you kind of weigh your morals differently. And I want to particularly say this to guys, because I feel like guys are the ones that definitely are affected by this a little differently. I don't know if it's as much with women. I can't really speak on that. Therefore, I'm not a woman. But when I stopped drinking, I really realized that going to bars to meet girls was not going to be the same. And the reason for that is I had it in the back of my mind, and this is probably a good thing to have in the back of my mind, I would say. But I realized even the slightest chance that something goes wrong and maybe I pick up a girl, something happens, who knows, the off chance, and she regrets it, something like that, it's very easy for her to go, I was under the influence and he was sober. Now, could that happen? Maybe. Could I just be extra precautious? Perhaps. But it's still, it's not a good feeling to think about. It does make you feel predatory, because you think about it normally, like, if you see a girl that's way over drunk, over intoxicated, part of you in the back of your mind is probably like, that's probably not a good idea. So when you're sober, it's even more of a not a good idea. So be careful what you do. You will think of life a little differently, I think. At least I know I have, especially in that aspect. That was a big one for me that I kind of realized pretty early on. You'll also have, different goals in life that you may value. I've definitely been a lot more pushy on going after my goals. I have been just really, really hard on myself in some ways, but give me 1 second. But I have been, coffee or something in my beard. I have been working really hard to try to chase my goals, and I think that focus has definitely been a lot better. So I feel like you really weigh your morals differently, what you value in life, things that you view as right and wrong. I think they all change. So definitely keep that in there, because that is important. And lastly, you're gonna feel better, a lot better. But yes, lastly, overall, you're gonna feel a lot better with yourself. You're gonna feel a lot better about life, where you're heading. You're gonna have a lot more clarity. And that is one thing that I cannot thank myself for giving to myself enough. because there were definitely days prior to this that were a lot more stressful than they should have been. There were definitely days prior to this that were a lot more dark, that I was in a very, very, very dangerous place emotionally that, I feel like people can kind of pin together, may have been steeping in my mind. And I was able to avoid that. I was able to get over that. I was able to work with the right people to be able to get myself through that safely and effectively and put myself in a way better spot. And like I said, you're going to thank yourself. And I'm thanking myself right now. And I hope one day, if you're making the decision, you'll thank yourself too. So anyways, guys, those are my top 5 things that I learned from 1 year of sobriety. Number 1, you're not going to lose as many friends as you think. You're probably going to get closer to them. Number 2, you're probably a lot better at things than you thought you were. Number 3, the health benefits for days. You're going to love the way you feel and look. Number 4, your morals, they're going to change. Your way you view life is just going to be a little bit more positive, I think. And number 5, you're going to be thankful that you did it. You're going to really, really be happy with yourself at the end of the day. So, hope you guys consider making the decision. I'm not one of these people that likes to push people in that direction. I kind of view it similar to how people view veganism and CrossFit. If you have to tell people how great it is all the time, it might not be that great. I mean, I like CrossFit. I think it's cool. I don't really do it. So veganism, you go catch me doing that. I'm by a deer right now. I'm in the middle of the woods. I see one of them venison hunks running around, But anyways, guys, I hope you make your decision. I hope you make your decision before it's too late and you run into a problem. So be in control. Be smart. Be safe. Be a good bro. See you guys in the next one. Later, bros.